Adam, you're far too kind in your introductions. I suppose everyone who makes a speech here has to start off with some form of confession, and I will, if my glasses fall off in the middle of my speech, it's all my fault. I learnt on Saturday that the word for beautiful woman and camel in Arabic is the same. And I was telling my wife this fascinating piece of information and suddenly realized that it was Valentine's Day. Hence, my glasses got a bit skew-whiff. So if they fall off, I do apologize. This week, it has to be recognized, despite the optimism of what we've been talking about this morning, a sad week for the Northeast, as one of its most traditional industries faces mothballing. It's one of the starkest reminders, as if we needed them, of the depth and severity of this recession. And of course, we need to remember that this isn't just a regional recession, it's not just a national recession, it's a global setback with different countries, different regions, and different communities experiencing very different problems. And I think we all recognize that to survive in this fast-changing world, we need new opportunities and, yes, new vision. To illustrate just how fast things change, I had a quick look at my father's life. Born in 1908, he saw life at a somewhat slower pace as he made his way to school in a horse and cart. But by the time he died in 1980, we'd put a man on the moon, experienced supersonic flight, and created nuclear power. All technologies that were undreamt of at the start of the 20th century. And in my own lifetime, the pace of change has quickened again. Today, this day, the number of telephone calls made around the world equals the entire annual total for 1980. Today, the number of emails sent around the world equal the whole annual output 10 years ago. If we've learned anything, it is that the only certainty is that things will not be the same tomorrow, next week, or next year. Arguably, what's happening in India and China today will be of far greater significance to our lives in 10 years' time than who wins the general election this summer. Those that admit and adapt to change will survive and prosper. Those that refuse to admit its existence will not. The Northern Way, for those of you who don't know it, is a unique, collaborative, non-party political partnership across the North that seeks to make those significant changes that benefit the economies of the North. The timing of such an initiative, in my view, could not be better. Our work on regional investment capacity predated the launch of the Jeremy Initiative that's delivered £125 million of investment capital to SMEs in the North East. Levered up with private sector investment, that amounts to nearly £500 million of possibility and opportunity for the 50,000 SMEs in this region. As some of you know, I've been heavily involved in this initiative. My company, North East Access to Finance, which I have been asked to chair by One North East, is overarching that initiative, and we're going to be looking at new investment opportunities and new soft-side initiatives that will actually help the investment process. More of that for our launch next April.